Hi, everybody. This is Susan Thomas. I'm one of the librarians working with the community this year, along with my colleague, Jessica Keebler. I'm just going to quickly demonstrate searching for controlled vocabulary through the PACE libraries, PubMed, and CINAHL subscription databases. So we always want you to go into the databases through our website because we have full text material available that's not available if you use the .gov version of PubMed, and certainly not available if you try to use CINAHL outside of PACE. That doesn't have a corresponding government version, but PubMed does. So let me show you what the search term table looks like from the very beginning. This is what you've seen in the slideshow. Using the PICO question, I create a table of columns, and I have elements from my PICO question, as titles for each column. So what I'm going to do quickly, just to make my point, is to use one column, the screening column, and I'm just going to show you how to go into PubMed and CINAHL and type in both screening and early detection so that you can see how to look for the controlled vocabulary match and then populate it in that search term table. So let's go back to the library. I'm going to click on databases, the letter P for PubMed. Scroll down here. And even though it seems like I should type into this box because it's right there, so prominently displayed, PubMed, I'm not going to do that because this is where we search for articles. And right now I am searching for the controlled vocabulary. And this is really important to know. I'm not ready to search for articles yet. I want to search the MeSH database. And what I do is I type each of my keywords in from my search term table, and I look for a match. And there might be more than one match. There are 32 matches. I need to determine which ones should be added to my search term table. It might not be evident immediately. You need to spend some time. Like, is mass screening a good match? Well, it's actually not. That's more about screening that's done for a large population of people for a particular reason, like screening airline pilots for depression, or screening the general population for SARS-CoV-2, something like that. So I keep going until I find something that matches. Diagnostic screening programs is a match. And let's go to the next page and see if there are any other matches. I'm doing this very quickly. This is not how you would do it in real life. So none of these are matches other than diagnostic screening programs. So what I would do is highlight this, copy it, and then it would return to my search term table, and I would add it here into this box. Now I'm cheating here and jumping ahead, but just to show you what it would look like completed. For some reason it's not, doesn't want to share this. I need to make sure that you can see what I'm looking at. Okay, this is actually the complete map for obesity. And you can see that diagnostic screening programs was added, and you want to always indicate which database that controlled vocabulary came from. The other MeSH term that is related, there is no other MeSH term related to screening in the MeSH database in PubMed. So now I'm going to go to early detection. That's my second keyword listed here. And I go back and I come back to the top here and I type in early detection. And remember, these keywords are just words or phrases that I've come up with using my own common sense and knowledge about, the topic. This is what you would do on your own or with a group, or even with a librarian in practice, when you're starting a research project. So there's no perfect list of terms, but, you want to use, your knowledge and experience to come up with these keywords. So I look for early detection, and there is no match, but there's early diagnosis. So we'll go ahead and use that one. So again, we would copy it and add it to our table. So there's early diagnosis. And those are the only mesh terms in this column. And then if I go into CINAHL, I do the same thing. Just looks a little different. So go back to the databases. I click C for CINAHL. And just like in PubMed, I'm not going into these boxes. This is where we search for articles. I'm coming up here to the CINAHL subject headings. So instead of coming down to the bottom where the mesh database was, the CINAHL subject headings is at the top. And now again, I'm not searching for articles, I'm searching for vocabulary. So I'm going to put in screening. And it's a good idea to keep this on relevancy ranked. I find this to be the best way to search for these headings. So it says to actually use the controlled vocabulary health screening instead of screening. Here's health screening on the list. If I want to, I can read this little scope note over here in this little yellow, and just to make sure that it's a good match. And then again, I can copy this and then go back to my table. And add it and indicate that this is CINAHL here. I'm not going to do it, but early diagnosis is also a match in CINAHL. So I've recorded the controlled vocabulary that I've found in the databases. I just want to spend a moment to discuss the keywords because this is important. Even if there's an exact match in the database, for example, early diagnosis in MESH and CINAHL, even though this isn't a controlled term, I also am going to record it as a keyword to search. And this is simply because there are some articles out there, mainly newly published ones, but also some other ones that have not been assigned MESH terms or CINAHL subject headings. And if I only search with the controlled vocabulary, I'll miss those articles. So when you're doing a very, expert or advanced search, something that's sort of resembling systematic review, you want to search by both keyword and controlled vocabulary for different reasons. And some of those reasons are provided in the slideshow that you've been looking at. So if I were doing this in real life, I would do this for each column. This column was a little difficult because I'm looking for pregnant people, and I found that the controlled vocabulary is a little surprising. For example, in CINAHL, the only related term is expectant mothers. So I certainly need to do a keyword search in CINAHL for pregnant. And then in MESH, there is pregnant women, but not pregnant people. So these sort of reveal some of the limitations of the controlled vocabulary, which may be a little biased or outdated. All the more reason to search by keyword as well. Okay, I wanted to keep this short, so I'm going to. I'm going to end now, and then you can return to the slideshow for just a few more minutes. I look forward to meeting some of you next week, and I hope you have a great week. Bye.